Hello, this is Jedthone here, and this is my little video I'm making for my tour of the Star Lake Water Treatment Plant in Star Lake, New York. So let's begin. This is a photo of the water treatment filtration system right here. In the foreground, you can see it's skid mounted, loaded up on a truck, brought to location that way, and I think they built the building around it because there's no doors to get this thing in. So this is the new filtration system right here. In the back on the right we have the filtered water, and behind the water filtration system is the raw water from the lake. And these are the filtration canisters right here. They're fed from these pipes on the bottom. The water's forced into this under pressure. Each one of these canisters has about 10,000 little straws in it, so the water's forced under pressure into the straws and out the top as clean water. Every once in a while the system has to be backwashed, and this is the system that handles that here. There's the cleaning chemicals down here like chlorine and stuff like that, and so the pumps are added into the system so that when this is backwashed, it's all done automatically. No one has to do anything other than like grab the containers and put them down there and put the piping into it. This is the back of the control module system. The computers that run it are on the other side, and I didn't want to take photos of the screens and stuff and post that online for security reasons. I don't want to see how, I don't want to give people the keys to the kingdom, so to say, to mess with it. But this is the control module over here. The electronic control system is on the back here. We're looking at the back of it. These are all the different valves. They're all controlled by the computer system, so it's all automatically done. No one has to go back there to open and close valves or anything in order to do backwashing like we currently have to do with our current water plant. When we have to do a backwash, at best, that involves people going around and closing and opening valves to do the backwash. At worst, it involves people getting the lifting gear out and dismantling multiple tons of equipment in some rather confined spaces. So this one is all automated. No one has to climb anywhere. No one has to hook up chains and ropes to lift heavy objects off of other heavy objects and move them around. It's all automated, all nice and simple. This is the raw water tank that is in the building. This is the tank that the raw water is drawn from. This raw water comes from their pump station on the lake, where it is drawn up from the lake and put into this tank right here. And this is another view of the clean water tank where I got one of the engineer's heads in it by accident, but that's not a big deal. Most of the pipes, as you could tell, were all this PVC plastic type of pipe, except for this pipe here. This is the only ductile iron pipe in the building. And this is a basic map of how the system works. So the pump house pumps the water out of the lake and sends it to the raw water tank. From the raw water tank, it's sent to the filtration system, where it goes from the color-coded dark blue of the raw water to the light blue of the filtered water, runs through this and goes to the filled water tank in the building. So this is the clean water tank, this is the raw water tank. And from the filtered water tank, it goes to the water tower. The filtered water tank here is used to backwash the filtration system when that is needed, and that is all done by the computer automatically. And how this system works is the computer monitors the levels of all these tanks. It doesn't really monitor the lake level because the lake doesn't really run empty. So the computer monitors the level in the water tower, and it's got a set level of, let's just say, 30 feet programmed into the system. So when the water in the water tower gets below 30 feet, the computer turns on the treatment plant. The first thing it turns on is the filtered water tank, where it starts taking water from the filtered water tank and putting it into the water tower. It also monitors the level of this tank. So when the water level in this tank gets too low, it kicks on the filtration system, which starts the pumps from the raw water tank to the filtration system. When the raw water tank level gets low, it turns on the pump house, which then sends water up to the raw water tank. And these tanks act as buffers, so that way if the pumps to pump water to the water tower turn on, it doesn't create a vacuum in the filtration system, which would damage it. This acts as a buffer, giving time for the pumps here to start going, to start the filtration system. This acts as a buffer from here, because then it doesn't start sucking water from the pipes and sucking air from the pipes into the filtration system. This acts as a buffer that allows the pumps down here time, which is only about 15 to 20 seconds, gives the pumps time to get water from up here. So it all acts as buffers to make sure that nothing goes wrong and the air isn't introduced into the system or an unnecessary vacuum. And it's all automated, and it's all really nice. And it's a lot less labor intensive than the current system we have, where everything has to be monitored constantly, with people manually changing valves, manually changing out filtration mediums. And if they have to, currently, like these things here, if one of these goes bad, you just put a cap on these things here, and you take the entire canister out, send it back, get a new one, and plug it back in. The filtration systems that we currently have, if they have efficiency issues, you actually have to disassemble them, and these are multi-ton giant steel containers, pressure vessels, and you got to get out all the chains, you got to hook up all of the pulleys and everything, and then start manually lugging these very heavy items around. And it's it's not like a hugely dangerous process, except one person did get hurt, but it is far from a safe process. It's a risky process to take those apart. And these, if you have a problem with it, there's some troubleshooting you can do in place, but if it continues, you just take it out and send it back to the manufacturer, and they send you another one. So yeah, and these guys haven't actually had any issues with these filters. Much better than what we currently have. So much better than what we currently have. So yeah, this is the system. This is the exact system, actually, other than the fact that they use like 100,000 gallons a day at most, and I think they're using about 70,000 gallons a day when I was there, and we use up to 550,000 gallons a day. So ours will be a much bigger, scaled up system, but it is the same exact system as that they're using in Star Lake, New York. And this will be much better, orders of magnitude better than what we currently have. So I hope you all found this video enlightening, educational, and if you've got any questions, feel free to email me, or you can also just send me a private message on Facebook too. People have been doing that. And I look forward to your questions. Talk to you later.